now that there was a commercial for the opening ceremony, I thought it was appropriate to post a video about predictions for who will light the Olympic flame. Now, it could be random, it might not even be an athlete, but if it's going to be an athlete, I would predict some of these athletes, though some may be teams. But beyond that, let me say who they may be. Well, there's the 2011 FIFA World Cup winners. Even though they started the relay, maybe they could finish. I don't know if that is allowed, but we'll see. And well, there's Shibuno Hinako. She won the British Open. It was considered a Cinderella victory. And beyond that, there's Miyake Hiromi, who has attended the Olympics since I forget how long it was, but she's admired for her hard work. She hasn't won a medal, but even though she's like past her prime compared to other lifters, she's still trying for the goal, and that hard work is admired. And then, of course, there's Ike Rikako, who, if I'm not mistaken, went through leukemia and is now competing in the Olympics. She's a competing athlete as well. And I got a feeling that maybe she'll light the flame. I mean, above all these athletes, but we'll have to see. Well, it looks like the ceremony is back on, but I'm going to go through anyway. Well, and then there's former youth Olympic athlete Kitazono Takeru. I remember he won the most golds in the Youth Olympics, and youth are the future, so maybe that could symbolize something. And the first Youth Olympic champion for Japan, Sata Yuka, who won triathlon. Yeah. And then there's Osaka Naomi. I think a lot of people watching will worldwide are going to know of her, not just in Japan, but worldwide. Former world number one, two-time U.S. Open champion, Australian Open winner. Introduction isn't even required because, man, she's that known. And then there's Suzuki Ichiro, a famous baseball player. He's a real hero. His name, he's a legend. I'll say that. Yes, and he's been in international competition as well, competing for the Japanese national baseball team. And then there's Matsuyama Hideki, who recently won the U.S. Open. And then there's the 2019 Japanese Rugby Union World Cup team. And it's the first Asian team to make it to a quarterfinal, which is it's big for Japan. Japan's rising in rugby, and this team symbolizes a lot. And if not the whole rugby team, I would maybe assume at least the captain. If somebody who's a rugby athlete was going to be lighting the flame, Captain Michael Leach. Beyond that, then there's the badminton doubles pair, Matsumoto Misaki and Takahashi Ayaka. And their gold was very big, first for Japan in badminton. It looks like Mexico. Yeah. Well, then you got the boxer, Murata Ryota. Yeah, he won the gold in 2012, and now he's fights professionally, just so people know, and he's won so many of these professional bouts as well. Yeah. And then you got Matsumoto Kaori, who is a judoka. She was the only Japanese judo gold medalist in the 2012 Olympics, saving Japan from a no gold Olympics for judo. And also got the bronze in 2016. Yeah. And then you got Fukuhara Ai. I mean, though she hasn't won a gold to my knowledge in table tennis in the Olympics, she's very popular, and if I'm not mistaken, when she was very young, she broke Guinness World Record for rallying, like very young. Like she was very young when she was on the national team, if I'm not mistaken. And then you got the 2008 Olympic softball champions. So, considering that Japan's defending, maybe they could be the Olympic flame lighters. And then there's Emoto Yuko, who is Japan's first female gold medalist in judo. That's very important. And then you got Yoshida Saori, who's like a celebrity type, and a wrestler that won. She won 3 consecutive golds. I mean, just winning 2 is hard enough. You know what? Winning 1 is hard enough in women's wrestling. And we also can't forget Icho Kaori. Winning 4 consecutive gold medals. 4 consecutive gold medals. I've even heard some say that she might be the greatest Olympian of all time. And you know what? I can kind of see that. And then you got Kitajima Kosuke, who is a very successful swimmer. I mean, he won 3 golds to his name, and he was born in Tokyo, I should say. Born in Tokyo. Yeah. And then, of course, you got Then you got the Sydney Olympic champion Takahashi Naoko in the women's marathon. That was really something. Like marathon gold, and Japan would go get a consecutive gold in the marathon in Athens. Yep. Then I should also mention Inoue Kosei. He won gold in judo back in Sydney Olympics after his mom died. And he worked very hard for that. He I barely have the words to describe that. I mean, some might compare it to a Dan Jansen moment, if I'm not mistaken. I understand there was a speech given Dan Jansen, who had a family member that died and won the gold. So I'd say Kosei Inoue Kosei is like that. And then you got Tani Ryoko, who is the most decorated judoka, with 5 Olympic medals, 2 of them gold, more medals than any other athlete. And then you got Nomura Tadahiro, who won 3 consecutive golds in judo, the only athlete to ever win 3 golds. And then you got Iwasaki Kyoko, who is like the youngest Olympic swimming champion, and she was at 14 years 6 days when she won the Olympic gold back in Barcelona. And then you got Yamashita Yasuhiro, who won the openweight gold despite an injury. I mean, very early in the 1984 Olympic tournament, very early. 1984. And then, of course, you got the first openweight champion, Uemura Haruki, 1976. Yeah, he was the first, and got to pay respect to the first. And he's a 9th Dan. And then you got Fujimoto Shun. Yep, Fujimoto Shun. He won the 1976 team event with his teammates, and he did it despite having like he was like having such an injury. I mean, like if I'm not mistaken, the injury like it was like was it his ankle, the shin? I mean, I can't see. But either way, I mean, if you watch the Rings performance when he landed, the expression he had, like, I mean, he was like so much pain. I mean, you could even see him. I mean, he's still trying to stick it out. I mean, like, it's so obvious that he was in pain. Though he wasn't screaming, you know, like, so, I mean, a lot of us would be screaming if we were in that kind of pain. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, he wanted his team. He made the sacrifice, and he helped the team win gold. I mean, so that is very important. That symbolizes a lot. So, what was the injury? How he managed to do somersaults and twists and land without collapsing in screams is beyond my comprehension, is what one doctor said. Yeah, beyond my competition, my comprehension too. Oh man, the dismount even gave him a dislocated his kneecap. It broke his kneecap, and it tore ligaments in his right leg. Man. Yeah. It was an injury to his right knee. And then you got Japan's most decorated Olympian. The most with gold. I mean, the most with gold has the most gold medals. Kato Sao. Yeah, Kato Sawao. Yes, he's a former gymnast. He won 8 gold medals for Japan. 2 consecutive individual all-arounds. And if I'm not mistaken, 3 team golds. Yep. And then you got the 1964. Women's volleyball Olympic champions. 80% of Japan was watching the final. 80% of Japan were watching on television. It was that big. And that was the first women's volleyball gold medal. And then you got Okano Isao, who won the first middleweight gold medal in Olympic judo, and also even won all Japan open weight sometimes. And then you got Miyake Yoshinobu, who he won like 2 golds and a silver in Olympic weightlifting. Yep. And if I'm not mistaken, he was also the I'm just gonna check. 64 Olympics. Oh, it looks like the United States has walked in. Yep, he was the first, Japan's first Olympic gold medalist. And then in the 1964 Olympics, which Japan hosted. Yeah. So those are the predictions I have for who will light the Olympic flame if it must be an athlete. So I'm gonna post this, and maybe it'll be correct, maybe it won't, but I figured I would pay respect to all these athletes who could possibly be lighting the Olympic flame. I think that'd be important. And hey, if it's one of these athletes, I gotta say, man, the fact that one of these athletes got to lead the flame is really something, in my opinion. Thank you for your time.